Wimbledon looks like the oldest, most traditional tennis tournament on Earth. It feels trapped in a bygone era. You see all-white dress codes, royalty in the stands, and a pristine garden party. Look closer under the ivy, though. The tournament is actually a massive multi-million-dollar data center. It is just hiding beneath a picnic blanket. Management quietly fired the human line judges to embrace high-margin automation. At the same time, they built a clever two-tiered money machine. Regular fans get access to incredibly cheap food and tickets. Meanwhile, the elite pay $14,000 for a single seat. Running this setup is incredibly expensive. The venue spends up to $20 million a year on tech alone. Two global companies manage the entire workload. First, IBM handles the distribution engine. They have been partners here for over 35 years. This is a massive tech rollout, not a cheap banner ad. The website gets zero traffic for 50 weeks of the year. Then, it suddenly explodes to serve over 20 million fans in a fortnight. Every single match creates roughly 2.5 million data points. All that real-time info streams straight into an AI platform. The software tracks stats and monitors crowd volume. It creates edited highlight clips just 2 minutes after the match ends. The AI even writes and voices the commentary for those videos. Computers do not do this alone. An underground bunker connects directly to a courtside spy network. IBM hires 48 high-level tennis players just to sit by the court. Regular coders cannot track a 130-mile-an-hour serve. These players type shot angles and speeds into the grid manually. They work directly alongside the AI. Normally, a massive system upgrade like this costs $10 million annually. Instead, IBM provides it for free as a giant marketing showcase. Sony handles the second part of the equation through Hawkeye Live. Firing the human judges cut down on massive labor expenses. No one has to feed, house, or pay hundreds of officials anymore. However, installing this tech is a brutal engineering challenge. Each court needs 12 specialized cameras running at 300 frames per second. That costs $60,000 per court. Local server clusters add another $25,000 to process the data instantly. Finally, audio gear pipes the automated out calls to the stadium speakers. That is another $10,000. Across 18 tournament courts, upfront hardware costs top $2 million. Wimbledon also pays millions more each year for leasing and staff. Then you have the broadcast branch, which uses 100 robotic cameras. They spend $15 million producing the main feed. This means a historic British tradition depends on American and Japanese tech companies. This massive focus on high-end technology is causing friction behind the scenes. Top athletes are noticing where the tournament pours its cash. Elite tennis players are openly questioning the overall distribution of the profits. The event generates hundreds of millions in total revenue over those 2 weeks. Yet, the player prize pool only accounts for roughly 15% of that money. Other professional sporting events usually split revenues closer to an even 50-50 share. Standard tour stops often allocate at least 22% directly to the players. The stars feel the organizers are shortchanging the actual talent on the court. Traveling with coaches, physios, and trainers costs a massive fortune every single year. Lower-ranked athletes frequently finish their season completely in the red. Winning a first-round match pays out around $100,000 before taxes. That sounds like a dream to a regular person watching from home. However, high tax brackets and immediate coaching fees eat the check instantly. The players claim their hard work funds a giant tech sandbox instead of their careers. This wage gap has triggered intense talk of a future player strike. The top stars want more than beautiful grass and polite applause. They want a fair piece of the massive commercial machine they helped build. The intense financial pressure on lower-ranked players gets worse before they even step on the court. The neighborhood surrounding the historic venue does not have luxury high-rise hotels. There is no official athlete village to house the hundreds of competitors. Instead, players must navigate a hyper-inflated local housing market. For 2 weeks, normal families leave town and rent out their suburban homes. They pack their bags and vacation while charging athletes absolute fortunes. A standard residential home rents for up to $15,000 a single night. total weekly bills easily clear $100,000 for a simple property. This creates a high-stakes financial gamble for anyone outside the top 10. If an unseeded player loses their opening match, their housing bill wipes them out. They literally lose money just for qualifying and showing up to play. An athlete must survive until the round of 16 just to break even on rent.
I was able to get a couple of free points with my serve, and I think that helped also.
Local homeowners make more in a fortnight than they do all year long. It is a temporary real estate bubble fueled by pure geographic desperation. The players are forced to pay the premium because commuting from central London is a logistical nightmare. Traffic during the tournament turns a short drive into a multi-hour ordeal. To protect their recovery, athletes have no choice but to absorb the wild cost. This tech budget requires massive revenue. Ticket sales fund the engine through a wild psychological trick. The box office splits the grounds into two completely separate economic worlds. Public tickets stay cheap so locals can attend. If you win the lottery, a grounds pass costs $38. Even a finals ticket tops out at $400. That is a steal compared to the Super Bowl. The real money comes from the debenture market. Debentures are commercial bonds sold to investors to fund stadium construction. Buyers get guaranteed seat passes for 5 years. Crucially, these are the only tickets people can legally resell. If you miss the lottery, you must use this secondary market. Prices here jump straight into extreme capitalism. Early rounds cost nearly $3,700 a seat. A spot at the men's final hits $14,600. This pricing divide hits the food stands next. A catering giant runs the concessions with a brilliant strategy. They keep iconic items cheap for good press, then mark up everything else. Take the famous strawberries and cream. The tournament sells 200,000 portions every summer. They kept the price frozen for 15 years straight. It only rose to $3.40 because of inflation. Losing money on fruit buys them millions in positive news coverage. The profit margins on alcohol make up for it. A single glass of Pimm's costs over $15. A beer is $11 plus a mandatory cup deposit. A basic fish finger sandwich costs $17.50. Lunch deals run nearly $20. This setup creates a hilarious tech loophole. Certain bank customers get a free strawberry voucher on their app. They pay nothing for their dessert. Meanwhile, the wealthy executive nearby paid thousands for his ticket. He still pays full price for his drink. You will not see ugly corporate skyboxes inside centre court. The club protects the historic look of the arena. Instead, the real cash comes from luxury villages built outside. The premier spot is the Rosewater Pavilion. It features private gardens, acoustic music, and a 4-course tasting menu. The bartenders pour free vintage champagne all day. A weekend pass costs $9,500 per person. Big banks and law firms buy these tables in bulk. Entertainment packages for the quarterfinals easily clear $70,000. This event is a masterpiece of modern sports marketing. It uses AI commentary, automated tracking, and high-end corporate hospitality. Yet, it successfully protects the image of a simple afternoon picnic. They sell you cheap strawberries so you look away from the machine.